keto, intermittent fasting. How I've lost 35 pounds in just a few months because of the guys I'm about to thank on YouTube. And really, I can't tell you the overwhelming support you get in social media. People calling me friends I haven't talked to in a while. I'm now so motivated to do more of this social media stuff. But I felt I did this on YouTube a few weeks ago, and I felt it was a little self-indulgent, bragging, and you know, being from New England and having been preppy. I grew up in Connecticut. I don't like making it about me. So when I did that video, I was going to transfer it over to YouTube, and I didn't. But I just got another call today. Somebody else has lost a lot of weight, and they said, listen to my video was encouraging. And it was a friend of mine. He's worked with me in the past. And he said I should do this on YouTube. So I'm going to do it. So first of all, just so you know, I'm going to talk about the transformation that I'm feeling right now in a minute. But I just want to, I got to go share a video from YouTube that was from December 7th. And then I'm going to take you back in time to what I was thinking at that moment. I screen share. Okay, so it says share. Okay, so this, I'm going to make it bigger. This was me, December 7th. I was getting back into internet marketing and YouTube marketing. And I want to tell you something about the guy in that video. His wife's birthday, it's a big number, and it was a round number, was her birthday was coming up in just a few days. It was, we were leaving to go to Hawaii. Yeah, this was December 7th. I think we left to go to Hawaii on the 9th or the 10th. I was in serious pain that day. I had gout in my foot, and I'm not think I'm far off. I was concerned because my wife actually paid for the trip. She wanted to do this so much. If I ruined, and we were going with her one friend, a neighbor, if I had ruined the trip to Hawaii because I couldn't walk around because of the gout in my foot, which I knew would probably go to my knee because it was so bad in my foot, as it had in the past, I was seriously, although we have kids and my wife's great, I was like, this could seriously jeopardize my marriage. So I was doing some internet marketing. And I weighed I'll tell you, the last time I had weighed myself, I had done it again. I'd started moving my weight down. I'd gotten down to 231. And every time I'd hit 231 in the last, I don't know, 5 years, my gout would start up, or I'd have some other injury that would put me out of commission for like a week or two. I'd be on a couch. I could still sit in front of the computer and do some marketing and do a little work for clients, but I couldn't walk. I mean, my foot was so swollen, I could hardly get in shoes. And I was like, man, I'm 55 years old. And if I don't solve this, I might not get to be the 80, 85-year-old guy, active guy that I wanted to be. And let me tell you, I worked out almost every day when I wasn't injured for the previous years. I mean, I've always been a workout person. I hike, or I go to the gym, or I play tennis. I was exercising every day, but I couldn't beat my carb addiction. Basically, that's what it was. So I was just miserable at this point. And then I want to tell you that around this time, though, I was learning. And I'm going to share I'm going to make this smaller. I learned incredible stuff. At first, I might have found Thomas DeLauer. And I'm going to put a link below to him, but he's got all sorts of videos. Oh, I'm sorry. That's an ad. Let me skip to it. I won't be clicking on the next video. Okay, so let me click on, I got to get this. So this guy puts out very believable science. He brings up studies. And the problems with a lot of these studies that I had in terms of confidence is they were usually built on limited people with controlled situations that I didn't necessarily seem, fit. But after you get the science over and over, you start thinking that perhaps because you're overweight, what the people were saying about, in some of these studies just didn't apply to you, that maybe there was something going on in your metabolism that meant that doing Atkins, which once worked for me, but I couldn't do it, probably because I wasn't eating enough fat, I've learned. I couldn't do it for very long because I had that carb flu that people are talking about. I had serious carb problems. So after learning from DeLauer, and at some point along the way, I found Dr. Berg. This guy was incredible because he actually explained what was going on to me. When I was losing weight and trying the intermittent fasting and these other things, my body, and that's how I was getting down to 231, my body was starting to put out uric acid, more of it, into my system to try to, probably it's probably about autophagy. I don't know this for a fact, but he says it goes out to deal with inflammation and heal you. So what was happening is my really lousy carb diet with the sodas and the pizzas was making my body insulin resistant. So then when I started getting healthy and losing weight, my body was trying to fix itself, pounding me with uric acid, making me go back to where I was doing. I mean, the funny thing was when I was drinking Cokes, I wasn't getting the gout very often, but when I was trying to lose weight, I was getting the gout every time. And gout, if you don't know, is this uric acid in your system starts attacking. It feels like it's attacking your joints because it's collecting there, and it feels like pins or knives cutting into you, stabbing you constantly. It's seriously painful. And then it starts, if you don't catch it and stop it right away, it starts rotating around your body. For me, it would go up to my knee, maybe it would go up to my elbow. I think once I had it in my hip, and then sometimes it would go down the other leg and just knock you out for 2 weeks, and at times incredible pain. But really what it was a sign of, and I knew this, that there was something wrong. It's like the canary in the coal mine. There was something wrong with my body. And what I realized from this Ivor, let me see if I can find this lecture from Ivor Cummins. I'll link to all these guys below. This showed me that I was, what they used to call metabolic syndrome. Gout was a symptom of the fact that I became insulin resistant, and I was probably on my way to a heart attack, even though I was working out all the time. I was like, wow, I can't sit back in the confidence knowing, oh, my blood's probably flowing because I work out every day and I'm getting oxygen and all that. I mean, this guy told me the reality of what metabolic syndrome was. And what it was is that when you hit your body, when you spike your insulin with a lot of food, any kind of food, but when you're doing it with carbs, and you're doing it with sugars and even fruit at times, you are spiking your insulin. You're spiking, your insulin comes in to try to deal with it. And what was happening is, over time, your body needs more and more insulin to the point where it can't even deal with it anymore. And I was starting to feel that because unless they changed how they were making the high fructose corn syrup the last few years, I started drinking Cokes. And instead of having that lousy feeling 2 or 3 years later, 2 or 3 hours later, I was starting to get it right away. So anyway, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that you probably, if you were fat, if you're a carb addict, you probably want to watch these videos to become convinced. I had to be convinced that this was going to work. And then you have to go for it. I'll tell you in a second. And also, there were other things I learned along the way that convinced me, but I was working out, learning about exercising from Jeff Cavaliere. He has an incredible channel on the internet, and he helped me with a lot of things. So anyway, when you're sitting here looking like that, let me go back to me now because now we'll talk. So let's see if I go back to share screen. Oh, that didn't. Oh, there it is. It did work. All right. Man, I don't want to cancel the wrong thing. So I'm going to hit share. Okay, I'll hit share again. Okay. So what exactly did I do to lose so much weight, and what were the results? Okay, so what I did was when I got to Hawaii, I walked around that first day in a ton of pain, but and because of this social media, I'm sharing stories. People told me their brother, or maybe it was their uncle, is a gout researcher, and she said I might have gotten lucky because I ate a lot of pineapple when I got to Hawaii. I need a haircut, don't I? I will get a haircut today or tomorrow. I ate a lot of pineapple, and she said there's some healing properties in pineapple for gout. I also know that when I started this and the gout was coming on, I knew it was coming on. I wasn't kidding myself. So I immediately took some ibuprofen. Now, I'm not saying that's what you got to do. I mean, I'm a lawyer. I don't want you to sue me for giving you medical advice. So talk to your doctor or get under. But I didn't want to use that allopropanol or whatever it's called because even that has side effects. I wanted to do this on my own. So cherries, pineapple, if you have it. Grapes work sometimes for me really well. I pound the grapes. But again, that's not keto. But that's so what I did when I was on keto, I either went with the pineapple in Hawaii, which started it, or after that, I'd just take 4 ibuprofen, and then I'd take them again right before I went to bed. And I usually woke up in the morning fine. I had a few days of pain as I was going through this. As Dr. Berg warns, when you go on a keto, you're probably going to go through some gout pain. And I think he highly recommends lemon, which I haven't tried. Okay, so I got to Hawaii. The pain went away. It was tolerable by the second day. The first day walking to dinner with my wife was one of the most, and not trying to reveal it, was one of the most agonizing experiences of my life. And maybe I destroyed my joint, but I did, I think I've saved our marriage, because I can't even tell you how brutal it would have been if I had ruined her trip to Hawaii with her friend and her husband. While I was there, being convinced that intermittent fasting and keto working together was awesome, my wife and I would walk in the mornings from our hotel to a breakfast place, or a Starbucks, and we just get some coffee. I was drinking iced tea. I didn't like coffee at the time, which I now do. And then maybe an hour and a half later, I would have eggs. Now I was eating the tortilla in Hawaii, but we're also working out, walking. She had a Fitbit on her. We were probably doing about 7 miles a day of hiking. Plus we were doing a lot of snorkeling. So I was getting hiking in, I was snorkeling. The water was a little cold. That might've killed some fat. There's people who talk about killing fat by getting it cold, and not eating a lot of carbs, not drinking Cokes, not eating the French fries, eating the fresh food in Hawaii. I was absolutely stunned when I got back from Hawaii. I know I went fatter, probably 335. I hadn't worked out. I was at 331. I had the gout. I hadn't worked out. I know I was up at 335. And to my absolute amazement, I was down at 227, 228. And so what I continued to do the next few days, I wasn't eating bread. I was basically doing that single ingredient food diet. If you can combine single ingredients in your dinner, although I think it's actually better to eat them separately, because it's easier to digest. I think it just works independently of this. I developed the theory that eating food, one kind of food at a time, you can lose weight. But eating single ingredient foods, I think you can do fat and protein together. You just don't want to do carbs and protein together. That I've learned on my own. Single ingredient foods, I lost. And drinking coffee in the morning and not eating till, which was easy for me because I wasn't a coffee drinker before and I didn't like it, but it kept me not hungry till noon or 1, not eating till 1, eating single ingredient foods, a lot of cheese, some nuts. Nuts have carbs. Once in a while, mistakenly eating peas or corn, maybe once or twice a week, and that might have even slowed my weight loss. But I lost 20 pounds without being hungry, really. I think one day I was just dying for carbs. I lost 20 pounds in about 3 weeks, less than 4. And then I plateaued for 4 or 5 days. So I switched over to keto, which meant I had to get rid of the bananas. And I was eating bananas and grapes as much as I wanted. When I got rid of the bananas and grapes, I then lost the rest of the weight. So I was at 202 this morning, and I need a haircut. But that was really, let's share that screen again. But this is 202, what you're seeing right now. No, it's not sharing. Oh, share. I guess I have to hit that. It's not doing so well, is it? So I don't know. I'm not in total control of Google, but I'm at 202. I'm probably, first of all, my clothes don't fit, and my pants don't fit. I have to buy new clothes, but I really want to get ripped. As I said in the other video, my goal is to be at a 6-pack, although because I was fat, the bottom 2 are gone. So probably right now I'm at 4-pack, and I have been doing either that ab roller or sit-ups every day in addition to going to the gym and doing my regular abs. So, at some point I'm going to start eating bananas and grapes again, but I'm going to continue down. I guess I have to go below 200 because I'm 202 now. And, but I know I can do it. Even if I take a break now, eat some of that stuff, I'll be back. I will, I'm going to go into that cutting and bulking stuff that, we talk about, the weightlifting guys talk about. But I just also wanted to say the one other side effect that I didn't know, and I I now have empathy. Like I go around and I see people who are bloated like me in that other picture. And I just know the vast majority of them are carb addicts. And I know what it was like. Like you get some energy, then you get hungry, and you go have some more carbs, and you do it again and again. You get through the day, you do your work with carbs. But I'm going to tell you right now, that schedule absolutely destroyed my focus and my desire to learn things and do my work in a superior manner where, I now know my income's going to go up again dramatically because I have focus. I have so much energy when I wake up in the morning. When people start telling you look good, people treat you differently. When you're overweight, people definitely treat you differently than when people are like, oh, that guy's taking care of himself or looking better. And it's just very motivating, even at 55 years old. I think that the future is ahead of me still, and that I'm going to be healthy enough to seize it. It's a tremendous difference in your mental approach. So you may be younger than me, but being fat and you're knowing you're addicted to carbs, it might mess with your attitude. It messed with mine. And now I have like this totally different attitude that I cannot recommend enough that you do this. That's what I'm going to say. And I cannot believe how cool social media really is. I didn't like doing it. I thought it was so self-indulgent. I may still mostly do it for business reasons. I'm going to be blogging or video lying or Google Live and Google posting about real estate and how to take advantage of Zillow and basically how you can use the technology to help you in your real estate ambitions and goals. But I just really want to thank. I just can't even express the difference in that I wouldn't expect, that I didn't expect, the difference in my attitude now and how much better things are health wise. I just feel it compared to just December. Today is, let me just get this right. Today is 21 February. And just on December 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, I was a fat guy with gout, wondering, if it was over. One last thing I noticed when my dad retired out here, he went down and played tennis almost every day at the La Jolla Rec Center. And I noticed all the guys who could still play tennis at his age or older, my dad was sort of built like me, were thin. Now, maybe it was the tennis, but I think it was the thinness was keeping them alive and able to continue to do exercise and have something to look forward to. So when I was that weight, that was always haunting me. Like, I'm not going to make it to that happy and fun time looking forward to tennis or whatever sport I'm doing and hanging out with my wife. I'm not going to make it if I am 55 years old and that fat. I just knew it. I didn't feel like I was going to drop dead at any time, but I knew I wasn't going to have a good 70s. And that's why I'm thanking these guys. I'm going to have a good 70s. So thanks. Bye.